Everybody, I hope all is well. Week one of college football has just taken off and started. We're talking about a couple of highlight games here. Clearly, there's a whole lot more going on throughout the entire week, but right now, just two big ones, obviously. If you're into college football, I can break all that down. Just let me know in the comments. But we're going to talk about the highlight of pretty much Thursday night, which is really going to be the Minnesota and North Carolina game. But I just got through watching the Colorado game, man, and man, I'm not going to lie to you. There's no way in hell Colorado should have let North Dakota State be in that game. And I get it, North Dakota State is a great school. They're good, but they are Division II. So, it shouldn't have been that close. You know what I mean? Because the way there's so many NFL, cough, cough, wink, wink, NFL prospects on that roster, top 100s, transfers, so on and so forth. It looked like they had the same problems like they had last year. They could not stop the pass. They can't stop the run. But it looks like now, crazy enough on the whole stopping the run thing, their front seven actually didn't look horrible. Linebackers went missing. Corners, you can't. I don't know. I don't really like Travis Hunter playing both sides of the field. But he did excel. He had 3 touchdowns a day. So I mean, apparently it works. It works in their system. It works. Like I said, I was watching this game, man. Miller and Lance's little brother, and also Nelson. These guys, the North Dakota State is going to be something to mess with, bro. They are going to be something not to be messed with in their division and conference. However, I will say this about Colorado. They looked rusty. They looked rusty today, and some changes they need to make, especially going into Nebraska next week. They really got a lot of changes. Now, let's talk about the meat and potatoes, pretty much what you came for. As always, we will be doing this on the YouTube channel. I try to do it on Wednesday nights. However, it is Thursday. I did work yesterday. Tired, you know how I go. But I'm a YouTuber with a job. Better yet, trying to find a career. Look at this, guys. Let's talk about it. We got Florida versus the University of Miami. Cameron Ward versus Mertz. I am going to tell you right now, whoever wins this game, pretty much their coaching job either got extended or pretty much got taken away from this. It's two programs that's really trying to build each other back up. And that's kind of what I like about this game is the fact that, and it's a rivalry game too. That's the best part. It's a rivalry game, and it's two programs that's trying to identify themselves with who they are and what they can be for the next, obviously next 4 to 5 months and seasons going forward. Like we saw with Florida State, anything's possible, especially with the Georgia Tech loss. I actually think these two teams are very equally matched. I know Miami comes in at number 19, I believe, in the country, but I think those two teams are equally matched. I like the quarterback play. I like Eugene Wilson. I love Restrepo, George, Martinez, the transfer from Oregon State. I really like the offensive side on both teams very well. Here's the problem. I think that Miami has the better offensive line. I think Crystal Ball is probably going to run this bad boy down their throat and let Cameron Ward do his thing. Probably a couple of freak plays that Cameron Ward can do because that's what he did at Washington State. So I wouldn't expect him to change his ways in a better climate where he could throw the ball in Miami. So I really am leaning more towards obviously Miami in this game. I do like the Gators, more of a personal reason, but if we're being honest, Miami looks like the Canes should take care of business in this game. They just have better firepower all around. But don't get it twisted. I do believe that this might be one of the high-scoring games. With that being said, obviously Ohio State and the Oregons, these two guys, they should take care of business. I think it's Arkansas State, and then they've got Idaho, which they should demolish those two teams. Now, Georgia Clemson. This is a Georgia Clemson, it's kind of one of those question mark games because I feel like Dabo has declined a lot at Clemson, and rightfully so to the hands of Georgia, Alabama, so on and so forth, where it's kind of one of those things where Florida State kind of just took over the ACC again. Well, this season I think is a bit different for Clemson. I think Clemson comes out swinging. I don't think they beat Georgia, but they come out swinging against UGA. Now, UGA's down a couple of running backs. I think it's 2 of them down, Robinson, and I believe Etienne he's probably going to be suspended for off-field issues, of course. But it still shouldn't really regulate their play. They should have their aggressors on the defensive side of the ball, which is going to handle everything. Carson Beck, not I ain't gonna lie, I'm not impressed by him. But hey, it is what it is. It's a 12 o'clock game. It is what it is on that. I think UGA takes care of business, but don't be surprised if Clemson actually swings back in this game. Now, Penn State, West Virginia. Last year, this game was pretty much, it wasn't a shootout, but it came like that towards the end. This year, I think, adding Fleming from Ohio State, I know that they're not as worried about him when he left, but I do think that Penn State finally gets more, receivers, pairing them up. I think that this is going to be a good thing for them as well. So Penn State should take this game. Obviously, I think they have better running backs with Allen and Singleton. I'm sorry. So I think they should take care of business. However, I would not be surprised if Green makes no mistakes because he's really good with the football in his hands. He's really good for West Virginia. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't give the team a second chance a lot. So that's something that I would love to see from West Virginia. However, I'm also a realist. I think Penn State takes care of business as well. All right, and then, of course, the last game for me. Well, not really the last game for me. The game that's important to me. A&M versus Notre Dame. Two schools that are extremely overhyped. I'm a huge A&M fan, and I'm here to tell you that I'm going to be honest with you guys. We got a lot of work to do. Jimbo, Mike Elko comes in from Duke. Obviously, Riley Leonard, ex-quarterback for Duke, is at Notre Dame. So it's kind of one of those reunion games where for both coach and quarterback, for two players to see each other again, opposite sides, of course, this time. I don't know, man. Like, this is really a toss-up. I don't really understand. I think Love is the lead back for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. As for the Aggies, we've got Moss and Daniels at running back, Walker, Noah Thomas, Muhammad, of course, the third. Connor Wigman, I like Henderson better. That's just me. I've always thought that Henderson was a way better quarterback that we had on the roster. I just felt like I don't know why we're not playing him. It is what it is with that. I wouldn't be surprised if the Aggies actually lose this game by 2 touchdowns, just for the simple fact, Connor Wigman is not to be trusted as a quarterback. And I know we haven't even seen Riley Leonard, but Connor Wigman is not to be trusted. As a fan, I've watched him play, and it was just not amazing. He struggled against New Mexico State last year. Enough said right then and there. That's what we saw. So, I'm a fan, but at the same time, I'm also a realist, like I said. And the Florida and Miami game, I think Notre Dame takes the cake and they win this game. I would love to see Aggies win, though. Don't get it twisted. I'd love to see the Aggies win, but I'm being honest. Then you've got, of course, LSU, USC. This is kind of the nightcap, the Sunday game for Labor Day weekend going out. I'm not really that impressed with this game like most people probably are. I think just location-wise, yeah, they're playing in Vegas. That's cool. But outside of that, man, I really don't see this game, being the hype of this one that you want it to be. You know what I mean? The hype that you want it to be. So I think that this is going to be more of Lincoln Riley letting the offense fly and more of LSU just trying to regain. They lost so much talent. Malik Neighbors, Thomas Jr., of course, obviously, Daniels as well. So they lost a lot of talent, man. A lot of talent. So it's kind of one of those games where you're kind of glad it's a new playoff system because back in the day, you lose that game, it's over, bro. It's over for your school and it's over for you as a player. You're not getting the championship. So this is something that's kind of, reasonable. I like this, but I can see LSU losing this game probably by 2 touchdowns, maybe 10 points, probably the spread there I'm looking at. That's what I see. I know the whole SEC dog top conference. I get it. Trust me, I'm a fan. I understand. I live in the South. I live in Georgia, so I know. But I'm going to be honest with you at the same time. I think Lincoln Riley, if he can get that offense up and moving right away, LSU, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. But with that being said, man, hey, check me out. We're doing NFL. Obviously, we're going to get back on it. It starts, obviously, of course, not this week, 2 weeks from now. So we're 2 weeks away from the NFL season, and we're doing FanDuel as well. Please chime in. This is just a small clip. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.